For almost 2 years now, I've been wearing braces, and let me tell you, it has been a journey. This is my second time wearing braces, one at 14, now at 29. But I feel like in the month of May and maybe June, I might be able to get my braces off, which is very exciting. So I thought, why not build a candy slash bakery store in The Sims 4? Now, honestly, the real reason why I'm building this bakery slash candy store is because I'm actually hoping to get my braces off either in May or June. I have an orthodontist appointment already like scheduled on May 8th, I'm pretty sure. And hopefully they'll say you're good to go. You're gonna get your braces off, hopefully in May or June. Literally cross your fingers, my friends, for me, please. Because this is my second time getting braces. I had braces when I was younger, like 14, 15 years old, and then I got them off. I've got the metal retainers, the plastic retainers. Long story short, I broke both of my retainers. My metal one snapped in half, and then my plastic one, I basically chewed right through it. But this time I'm older and wiser, and this time I'm paying for these braces instead of my parents. So I've learned my lesson, and I'm not gonna do the same mistake like I did before. Because if I do that again, we're gonna have some problems, mostly with myself. But essentially, the reason why I'm building this is because I want to understand how to kind of run a business in The Sims 4 with different vibes, if that makes sense. Because I've done a pottery store, a tattoo store, I've done a comedy club. I've done a lot of things so far with businesses and hobbies, but never ran a bakery slash candy store. Now we already have the gigantic cupcake machine that we got with base game a long time ago. I never really use it because there's not a lot of space in my Sims home to actually utilize it properly. And I just never had a fascination of running a bakery anyway. But ever since playing with like Bob Pancakes and a few other my Sims that love culinary, it seemed like a really good idea to try it out just for the sake of this build. And I'm having a lot of fun, and I kind of forgot how lucrative that cupcake machine is. I mean, you can make cupcakes, you can make different types of pastries. It's just a good object to use. It's huge, but I say try and use it to your advantage if you can, especially knowing that one day down the line we'll probably get more baked goods that they might add into that object or just give us a brand new one. But also the other thing too, we got cotton candy, lollipops, and jelly beans with this new expansion pack. And we've had candy before in like previous packs like Spooky Day stuff and I believe also Seasons, but we never got a chance to actually make our own candy. The other thing too is I really, really, really love this new EP because it added in like the new cookbook that you're able to make family recipes. And the fact that kids can own their own small business is a very fun idea because I'm thinking to myself, one of my Sims kids will eventually want to become a business owner at some point. I don't know when, but they probably will. But they also want to like maybe make their own recipes out of like a whim and then make it as like a family thing that they make every year. Like that's what I really, really love. I'm a huge fan of family gameplay. And so whenever the Sims team adds in like more family content, whether it's like video cameras or like special interactions that we normally don't get to see, or more things for like kids, toddlers, infants, and possibly teenagers. But I really want more family gameplay just because that's what I usually gravitate towards. And I'm working on like a little small mini series in The Sims 4 that's geared towards my favorite family gameplay packs. And I don't know, I just felt like there's a lot of things that I haven't really gotten to explore by myself because we get so many packs so frequently that I never really have a time to sit down and enjoy what I'm playing because new EPs, new stuff packs, new game packs, even kits are happening so frequently that I'm having a hard time figuring out what I really want to do gameplay wise. Even though I live stream it all the time, YouTube wise, it's very lacking. And so I'm working on something really, really fun and I cannot wait to share. But I don't know if you all have ever seen the show Gilmore Girls. I mean, it's a wonderful show. It's a fantastic show. It's no longer running. I mean, granted, they had almost everyone and their mother on that show. I mean, like Lorelai, Rory, Suki, Taylor, Luke, Dean, Jess, Logan. They have all the people, and even Lane. All the characters in that show are just fantastic. However, Dean is trash. He didn't need to react the way he did when he saw Rory and Jess that way. He didn't need to do that. So Dean is trash. We don't like him at all. Jess is the right one for Rory, and that's it. Except that one boyfriend that she had in the year in the life that had no really like purpose being there. We didn't really know his name and they always forgot his name. He's also a good one. Not very memorable, but he is there. But also, Gilmore Girls has like a lot of really cool things in Stars Hollow, and Taylor runs a candy store and pretty much kind of runs the entire town. But he has like this big old head and is like very, very annoying. I'm not liking his character that much, but he's basically right next door to Luke's diner. And it kind of got me thinking, I know at one point in the show, Taylor installed a window between his shop and Luke's shop, and it was very, very funny. Like you could see straight through his like candy store. I can't remember what season it was, but I knew it happened. And I just found it very, very funny to kind of implement that into this business, because one way your sim might buy some candy on this side and then maybe go to the bakery to the other side. So there are two technically businesses on one lot, but it's all ran by one sim. And so on this side is the candy store where you can buy like your lollipops and your cotton candy and your jelly beans, and pretty much any other like candy that we have in the game is usually put on this side. And I built this all on stream, a course of like 2 streams, I'm pretty sure. And I struggled a little bit because I don't do a lot of community lots. Normally I do a lot of like residential homes, and that's like kind of like my bread and butter. So I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, something new, and I'm having a lot of fun. I don't think I've ever built this much and posted this many builds like very frequently in terms of community lots in a very long time, and I'm kind of liking it. So I hope you're enjoying the builds as much as possible, because gameplay is about to commence very, very soon. I think I'm getting back into the groove of my gameplay era, my gameplay essence, because I was struggling for a little bit trying to figure out what do I want to do gameplay wise. And now that we kind of have a breather between new EPs and stuff, I can get back to what I was used to doing. Gameplay videos 10,000 times better. So the way I'm decorating this like mostly candy side is very like bright and poppy and just full of decor and posters. Pretty much I just wanted to clutter the walls as much as possible because I'm building this in Copperdale. And one of my Sims, as we all know, is my favorite household, the O'Connors. I tend to build a lot of things for them, mainly because they are my pride and joy. They are my ride or dies. I have to have new things for them so they can thrive in the world. And now, granted, there's not that many Sims that live in Copperdale in my save file for the O'Connors, besides Winston and, of course, 2 other Sims that we haven't really seen as much. But I think evidently Winston might stay in Copperdale full time even after he graduates and goes off into university. But I just haven't had a chance to really dive deep into that. And they're about to go to prom very soon, which I'm so excited. I don't think I've ever had a household that I deeply love so much that I don't want them to age up and I don't want them to move on with their lives until I'm ready. Like, have you ever had a household in The Sims, whether it's like The Sims 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever game it really is? If you ever had like a character that you really loved and like there was aging in the game, and you just have like this feeling that you don't want them to age, you don't want them to move on, you don't want them to like really like change their life. Like, even though it's going to be for the better, you just don't want them to change. And it's like you just see them doing their thing, thriving, having a fun time, changing who they are, but in the best way possible. But it just feels weird. That's me with Winston, but also me with Aspen. Aspen Marie O'Connor has been a sim I've been playing with since 2021 on repeat, and I'm still on Gen 1 of that legacy, the O'Connor Legacy Diaries. Gen 1 still. She's on her 4th and last child. I did not anticipate of having like 3, 4 kids in this legacy at all, but it just happened. And I just felt like as new packs were coming out, I wanted to try and incorporate them in the best way possible for my Sims and kind of to see what I could do with it. And I've learned a lot through kind of navigating the packs of like what I like and what I don't like through this one household. And like Life and Death, hands down, the best expansion pack we've ever gotten in a very long time since Seasons. I don't think I've ever been this excited about an EP since Seasons and like Growing Together. I mean, I have my staples: Seasons, Growing Together, Parenthood, Life and Death, and now Businesses and Hobbies. It just makes the game feel more alive for me, and it's something that I've always wanted to kind of play through at one point. Now, the one thing or few things that we do not have yet are better ways to make elders more exciting exciting to play with. Now, elders can basically do whatever they want in the game, but I also feel like they just can't do a lot in terms of physical activity. Granted, if you didn't know, in The Sims 4 with elders, they can woohoo 2 times and they may or may not die. And that's a scary thing. And so I want to do a slow approach to Aspen's elderhood and navigate that and just see how I can work with it, because we're going to be getting 2 more kits on May 1st. And I believe the elder kit is called Golden Years. And I don't really know what that means, if it's like build and buy and cast or just one or the other, because I really want elder style like clothing where elders look really like elders to me, and they have appropriate clothing that they can wear that's comfortable but also stylish at the same time. Because I remember I made a video, I think last year, 2 years ago, about what I would love, like my dream elder pack. And if you haven't seen it, I will link it down below, because I still believe that we need a lot of things for elders, whether it's like new events, rabbit hole things, maybe a career for elders, aspirations, and even also tying in like fun events, like maybe a rabbit hole cruise, or having new ways of having retirement homes or senior living homes. And now, to be honest, we have the capability to make these things already, but we have to use our imagination a lot. So there's a few features that are still missing that I really want. So I feel like I should make another video, but for a different life stage, like maybe infants, but also maybe children and teens combined, or like my dream family pack, essentially, of like what I would love to see at the end of the day. I really wanted to make this property like a really fun hangout spot for anyone and everyone, all families, kids, teens, whoever wants to come by and buy some lovely little candy or some baked goods, or even if they have like a nice long essay that they need to get done, they can come here. So I can basically combine 3 things into one, of a candy store, a bakery, and an internet cafe. And that is why I made the bakery side a lot more bigger. So I added in like bookshelves and a long island, L-shaped island, for a row of chairs and desks. I didn't want to overclutter everything, because I knew that Sims usually have a hard time getting to things or routing issues, but I really wanted to make it come alive in terms of someone actually runs this business, but also there's our people who come here every once in a while, whether it's hanging out with friends, buying some pastries or some cotton candy, or even writing a term paper. So I added in a few laptops, and I think I also added in one gaming PC. And it's got me thinking that I should probably build like a gaming like venue, like a row of desks and chairs and computers, but for gamers. And I actually did an event, I believe back in like November, or I believe, for the Game Awards with YouTube, and I got to host that with YouTube, and it was at this really cool venue in Chicago, and it was so much fun, very, very fun, really cool people. And I kind of want to replicate that in The Sims 4 just to see what I could possibly do. But ultimately, I felt like this venue needed a lot of new things in terms of like decor for the wall. Because the sim that will probably own this is a very creative person who loves like bringing it in the community in any shape or form, throwing parties, get-togethers, having a fun time of having really cool employees. And at the last second, when I was building this, what I've noticed throughout all of the builds I've done for businesses and hobbies, and even some gameplay, is that a lot of the customers will pee themselves, even though there is a bathroom on the property. And so I made it very clear to myself to not include like a public bathroom like for the inside. So I utilized one of the debug live edit object bathroom stalls that you can use, that you usually see around in different worlds. And I feel like Sims will actually autonomously use that if they have to go to the bathroom. So I added in basically last minute at the edge of the lot in the back, and it seemed to work pretty well. I mean, I had a sim who I played with during a Twitch live stream, and we made quite a bit of money. I did a few changes about this lot through gameplay, and I added in a whiteboard so that we can make more money through our services of teaching about cooking, baking, candy making, all that fun jazz. And I only had one employee who wasn't really the best employee. I wanted to fire them so badly, but I needed help to manage like keeping up with all the baked goods and all the candy. So I kept them on the job for now. I will eventually finish that playthrough because we're currently at rank 3 of our business. And I'm learning that it's pretty easy to like earn your ranks with the new aspiration and also just the general like business and hobbies. You do positive reviews, you tattle on like your employer, or technically you don't tattle on them, you tattle on your competition. You respond to positive reviews, you interact with your customers, make sure that you get your perks up so that way you can like get more benefits bang for your buck. And it's become easier and easier and easier as I continue to play. And I'm actually really enjoying the gameplay on the candy and bakery side. And so I think next time what I want to do is probably build a daycare and a few extra things, or like our gaming studio. The brain noggin, I'm telling you, I have a lot of ideas in terms of builds that I want to do that I don't think I'll have time to do them all. So I'll probably just spread them all out instead of doing them all in one go, because that is just not great. More packs that we get, more build ideas I get. And I'm just like I wish there was like 10 of me, because then I can get all the builds done in one go and then I won't have to stress about them anymore. But either way, I want to go ahead and go into the game and show you all the build in real time. So that way you can kind of get a gist of like what I was working with. And I just want to just show you the vibes of Copperdale and the build and just kind of gush about it all over again, because I really, really love this pack and I really love this build. So let's go ahead and go into The Sims 4. So now that we're in the game, here's my candy store slash bakery. It's on the 20 by 15 lot in Copperdale. Originally, you would find a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom house on this property, but I demolished it and added my own build. So I used what I had and I feel like I did a pretty good job. It's very eco-friendly. It looks historical, but it also looks new at the same time. But in the front part, I wanted to make it very community-esque. So I added in a selling table from the brand new expansion pack. So that way, if you have like a sim who loves like pottery or painting or candy making and wanted to sell on this lot, they technically could. They have permission from the owner to do so. But also, if you wanted your owner to sell stuff outside before opening up the business on the inside, they can also do that too. But I wanted to make sure this property had pretty much everything for the community to be here. So the selling table, the bikes, the hopscotch, the piano, and also the Gamelvik town board. So that way they know what's happening around town. And I really wish this postal box was actually functional, where your Sims could like send letters or get mail from this, because it would be very realistic to have that. But we don't, and that's okay. But I wanted to make sure I added in like that touch of realism to this build. But as we make our way to the inside, you can kind of see that the two businesses are very well decked out. On this side is the bakery slash internet cafe. And then on this side is the candy shop. So I added in a few of the debug lollipops and cotton candy that you can find in debug and add to your display case. So we have a rainbow wave lollipop, blueberry, plum bob, the list goes on. And then of course the cotton candy down below. Now, originally there was a door right here leading to the back area for the community to kind of hang out in, but it decided to remove it so that way the owner and the employees can use it more than random people. So I added in the security alarm so you don't get robbed, and also the wall sign to open up your business. And of course, 2 tables with some laptops and tablets and homework, because again, Copperdale is kind of the world for high schoolers because we got it with high school years. And it just seems like a hangout spot, especially if the bakery side is all filled up with a lot of Sims. They can come over here, grab their laptop and do their work. But I wanted to make sure it just had all these really, really cute things. I added in the cow plants and also the cute little vines for the curtains. A nice PA system so that way they can announce saying, Sally, Patty, your order is ready at counter number 5. Get your stuff and get out. So PA system to make your announcements, of course. And I also have a aircon unit, and I have some ribbons and a lot of posters on the wall, because I feel like a lot of like teenagers and kids would come here, celebrate their wins of getting a good grade in school, and they would have their ribbon to showcase that they got that A or whatever grade, and display it back here and get a free little lollipop or cotton candy. But on the bakery side, I really had a lot of fun, and you can kind of tell it is more brighter than the candy store because I wanted to make it very nice and open and cheerful. So I used a lot of like the mint green stucco like wallpaper, and then of course the wall art from Love Struck, and I think from Love Struck, I'm pretty sure. And then I added in a lot of like random decals back here from the Comfy Gamer Kit by Little Simsy, and also a lot of random like boxes and books and workout gear back here for the employees, and also a nice little chair and a macaroon chair as well, and security alarm and some pipes. And you can kind of see right here, I mentioned earlier in the speed build that I was kind of inspired by Taylor's shop, because somewhere in Gilmore Girls in one of the seasons, Taylor installed a window between his shop and Luke's shop. So you can kind of peep at the other side if you wanted to, and vice versa. You have that capability. You can be a nosy Nelly if you want to. But then over here, I have the display cases with a bunch of like cupcakes and things that I found in Debug. I was gonna have a sim on the lot, just like make all the stuff and then put them on the shelf as a lovely decorative thing, but the Debug stuff worked for now, and you can take all these stuff off when you download the lot for yourself. They don't cost any money at all, so when you sell them, you don't really get anything out of it. So remove them, add your own stuff, and you're good to go. But essentially on the other side is the internet cafe. So if you have like teenagers or whoever who has like an assignment or just wants to write a book or play video games, they can do it over here. And they can also watch some TV and actually play video games, because I added in the Dream Cube from one of the updates, and also the gaming computer from Little Simsy's kit near here. Then I also added in a bunch of hot drink tumblers everywhere, just to add in that touch of realism, saying, hey, someone's here, they're drinking their coffee or their tea or whatever, and they can do what they want to do right here. And since there's technically no like bathroom or like employee lounge, I decided to take out the cupcake machine out of here and put it outside and turn this into an employee lounge. So that way the employees can come here, sit down, relax, and enjoy their time, but then also keep working, make cupcakes, cakes, food, baked goods, whatever it might be in the kitchen. So I added in a lot of the Home Chef Hustle appliances, and also counters and cabinets, and also the fridge. And then back here is mainly for the employees. So I did close this off so that way no one can get back here. So I added in 2 bikes for the employees, some garden plots, and also the cupcake machine that is from base game. It is so huge that I don't tend to use it, but it is very lucrative if you want to have a thriving candy store and bakery. And then I did mention earlier that I was going to add in a bathroom, but there was no way, and there was no space in this venue to have one. So what I did is I decided to go ahead and use the Park and Potty public bathroom that you can usually find in the bathroom catalog. If you go to toilets, you'll usually see them like down here, and they're mostly in different parts of the world based on what pack they come from. And this one came with Growing Together, and it just kind of fits the vibe of the build. Nice, bright, cheerful, airy, maybe, but it just captures the vibe of the venue. But with all that being said, I do hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below, as always, of what you thought of this build. Especially let me know, what have you built in The Sims 4 as of lately with the brand new expansion pack? And if you don't have this EP, what have you built recently in The Sims 4? But other than that, as always, I hope you all enjoyed it. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye!